You guys, did anybody put on the playlist? Because we made a really good playlist. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm kind of playing it in the background, so I have like something to get rolling with. Okay, so you guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with thank you, Val. Okay, beautiful. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our chocolate. All right, it's 3.5 ounces, usually like a regular sized chocolate bar, and we're gonna do a little knife skills. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to hold the knife. So this is like a little Japanese style knife. This is the French one. It's a little different, but they're both awesome, and yeah, sometimes it's nice to have both of them. So, cheers. See, curved, straight, okay? They're very similar. Okay, so what we wanna do is we wanna have a proper technique in holding the knife. So this is the blade and this is the handle. I take my, I'm a righty, so I take my right hand, I take my thumb and my pointer and I pinch it up here. Then I wrap my fingers around. So you guys can see that, right? Like I basically am like, I've connected the blade to the handle in my hand. And the reason why, because like, I don't know, 80% of the stuff we cut, we use the lower part of our knife. So we wanna have strength here, okay? If we're just doing this, there's no force, and so you're really just like bruising your food. So we don't want to bruise our food. So get that good grip. With your free hand, you're gonna practice the claw. Okay, can you guys see the claw? Here's the claw. So this is the claw up, and then this is the claw down. The reason for the claw is, as you can see, the knuckles are the furthest thing out, and the tips are in. So that way, you don't lose any fingers, okay? When we get really jamming as like, our in-home chefing, you're gonna be able to cut without even looking, not today, okay guys, not today, all right? You work that out in the future. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna chop up our chocolate. I kind of put it all like in a pile. Yours might be a bar, whatever it works. We got our knife, we're gonna put our claw, and then I'm just gonna make small, like little shavings, okay? And the reason why, oh, wow. Okay, I am going to use my other knife. That knife did not have enough power. Okay, so you want to just get in here and really, really chop it up, okay? It's kind of like shaving. Like I'm kind of shaving the edges. Also, right now, because it's really hard, I'm using my other technique, which is where you put your hand, like the palm, at the tip of the knife, and then you can push down like this, and that gives you a lot of leverage. And so that you can really get in there and get the chocolate going. So you guys, talk about, we're sort of starting at the end, as far as our meal goes, and as far as aphrodisiacs go. So aphrodisiacs are things that throughout history, people have believed that they would sort of improve either our virility, or improve the desire for sex, or improve the potency, like if you can, like having any issues by not possibly being able to have sex, all those things. And the reality of the world is basically people have been looking for like what we have now being Viagra, like since the dawn of time, okay? So before there was the blue pill, like the world, or whoever, like the authoritative people, or the kings or queens or whatever, would look into different remedies to solve problems. Because of course, if you were a king, you had to have a child, because then they would continue the legacy of the family and own the throne, and all that like stuff. So if you weren't having children, there were big problems. So it was very important that any sort of fertility issues were solved, or any sort of like sexual potency issues were solved. So people would look to outside things to solve these problems. Now, we're going to talk about chocolate specifically right now. And I want you guys to just in the chat, if you can, tell me if you like chocolate, and if you do like chocolate, how does chocolate make you feel? Okay, kind of think about it. I personally love chocolate. Chocolate is, like, I don't smoke. I've never really smoked. And chocolate is the thing that when I'm like, just like, oh my God, the day just like got overwhelming. If I take a piece of chocolate and I slowly let it melt in my mouth, I am like,
Comfort.
Oh.
Happy.
Okay, so chocolate makes you comfortable, we're hearing. Happy.
Makes you love chocolate. Blah, blah, blah. Warm.
It makes you feel warm.
Sanity break.
Sanity break. Okay. You guys, chocolate for me, it makes me feel, chocolate makes me feel relaxed, makes me feel calm, makes me feel satisfied. It makes me feel taken, like cared for. So I don't know if you think about sex in those terms, or what part of sex makes you feel happy, relieved, relaxed, but typically it's the orgasm. Okay, so chocolate is the orgasm of the food world, and it falls into the category of aphrodisiacs, of things that when you eat them, it has an effect on you like sex does. So the reality is that chocolate is the pinnacle of all foods. It is the grand finale, the orgasm, the best feeling thing you could ever have. So thank God, okay, because we can't always just like alter our mood by having sex. So thank God there's an over-the-counter cure for that. And maybe I also sometimes think about the idea, if I'm craving too much chocolate, I have to maybe think about like, well, how much sex am I having? So I might have to like balance things out a little bit. So you guys think about that the next time, you're wanting one or the other, okay? So hopefully you got your chocolate all chopped up and happy and ready to go. What I'm gonna do with the chocolate now is put it in my bowl, okay? And you guys can do that. So one of the things, a little tip I want to give you is to keep our knife a little like sharper, because we probably don't get them professionally sharpened often, is you can flip your knife upside down and use the back of the knife to scrape, because then you use it as a tool. It's already dirty, but you don't dull it. So I really like using this technique because, because it works, because it's awesome. All right, so you guys, I'm going to tell you about the chocolate a little bit more so you can get a vibe about why it's so amazing and like how it actually affects us. So chocolate has over 300 flavor components, okay? That's like insane, right? When we take wine classes, you have like a wheel, I don't know, there's like 15 flavor components. I mean, chocolate is 300. So first of all, it's like literally made by the gods, and man cannot create the actual, like replicate the flavor of chocolate because it's so like special. Number two, it releases serotonin and dopamine in like as a neurotransmitter in our bodies, and that really elevates our mood. And that's the part that makes us feel good, that makes us feel calm, that makes us feel relaxed and euphoric. So that's pretty amazing. And then finally, it has THC in it, and that's the part that makes us just feel so like, It's also found in marijuana. It doesn't have that like effect, but it has a bit effect on us that makes it go through our body and like just feel so happy. Also, chocolate has cocoa butter in it, which is a fat, and fats are like slowly digested in our system. So that slows down that absorption of that vibe. So it actually, it's not like a high or low. It takes it, like you feel the euphoria for a while. So chocolate is just so amazing. I really, really love it. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, sorry, maybe you haven't, maybe you have. So we need 5 tablespoons of butter. Okay. And we're going to put it in our, like something that works okay in the microwave, hopefully something a little big. Actually, I'm so sorry. We're going to do that, but we're going to do this first. So what we're going to do first is get like maybe 1 tablespoon of butter, put it in a small like little thing. And then we're going to put it in the microwave, maybe 30 seconds. You just want it melted, but you don't want it to explode all over your microwave. So just do that real quick. 20, start. Okay, so right now we're warming up our butter. We're gonna look if we have one, like a little brush. We're also gonna get our ramekins.
What to do if you don't have a microwave?
Oh, if you don't have a microwave? Okay, if you don't have a microwave, you gotta melt your butter. So put it like on the stove in a pan and melt it up, okay? Like, yeah. Oh, and actually, you know what? For this part, you actually don't need to. Don't even worry about it. Not for this part. So you're gonna need the pan and you're gonna need the butter. You don't have a microwave for later, so go ahead and grab that. But if you don't have a microwave at this moment, totally fine. Literally take the butter, like with your hand, and take your ramekin. If you don't have a ramekin, we're gonna use mugs or something. And you just like smush it, like smear it all inside, okay? For those of us that have the melted butter, I'm gonna put like our little brush. If you don't have a brush, use your fingers or use a paper towel or something. It's, you know, you're gonna eat it. It'll be fine. If you're weirded out by that, I guess use a paper towel. So you're gonna just kind of put the butter all over the inside of our ramekins. And we're gonna do 4. So I'm gonna tell you guys, this dessert is so darn amazing that, well, there's 2 things. One, it requires 1 yolk. And honestly, there is no way that I can figure out how to break a yolk in half to make just 2. So we're making 4. And I promise that you will be so happy that you made 4 because tomorrow you'll be like, dang, I really want that dessert again. So you could either eat, you know, 2 of them tonight, or you can have 2 of them tomorrow or in the future. So you guys be the judge about what's happening there, but either way, we're making 4. Okay, so I'm basically putting the butter all inside of our little ramekin or our mug or whatever we're doing. If you're using a mug, just, you don't need the butter everywhere, just maybe like halfway. So now you guys grab your cocoa powder, grab a little bit of sugar and mix it together, okay? Because what we're doing is we're going to like prep prep our ramekins so that they don't stick. This is similar to like flouring a cake, all right? So I just put like, you know, a little tablespoon of each, and then we're gonna like now put this inside here. So hopefully everybody's like kind of caught up. So here's what I like to do with that. I have my ramekin, it's all buttered. I have my like sugar and cocoa combo. So I'm gonna pour some inside. And then I'm going to like, I'm gonna be right on top of another, oh, that, you can't see that. Okay, I'm gonna be right on top of another one. So when I turn this, that it will fall into this ramekin, okay? What is blocking? Oh, is it this? Okay, there we go. All right, so here you go. You're gonna turn it. Just gonna turn it a little bit so that basically all this cocoa powder sugar combo is gonna stick to the butter that you just put on there, okay? So you guys, we didn't talk too much about rules today, but I do have rules, okay? So remember this while you're cooking with your partner. Rule number 1, there's no perfection in this, okay? Anything can be worked out. I have seen like crazy stuff happen in the kitchen and it still worked out, okay? So there's no right or wrong. It's just like, we're just having fun, okay? Number 2, there's, what else? Number 2, like anything can be fixed. And number 3, you have to have fun, okay? And the number 4 is, what's the positive reinforcement, okay? Now, sometimes in our relationships, one person cooks more than the other, and sometimes that person might have like the teeniest, smudgiest like bit of resentment. I don't know, you probably have a perfect relationship, maybe it's just me. But when that happens, I highly recommend that you positively reinforce your partner tonight when you see them doing an amazing job or even like a not so amazing job. Just let them know they're doing an amazing job because it really, really pumps up the love vibe in the relationship. And there are ways that you can do this because 1, I think you could definitely give them a little kiss on the cheek. I definitely think you can give a little hug. You could pour more wine for them. You could smack them on the ass. I don't know, you guys work it out amongst yourselves, but I'm sure you will come up with some very like positive reinforcement ideas, okay? And if you want to share them with the others on your chat, what your preference is, go for it, okay? So we did one, we're gonna do the other, same process, just like, yay. All right, hit it on the bottom because we wanna get all of that like excess out. And then we're gonna take our very last one, do the same thing. Okay, perfect. So I am going to save my little concoction for my next class and just pour it right back in here. as we go along, and then we will be all prepped for our lava cakes. Okay, beautiful. So that is out of the way and done. Now, you guys, those of you that didn't have the microwave, I want you to please take 5 tablespoons of butter, put it in a small pan, and put it like on low on your stove. Everybody else, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the 5 tablespoons of butter, put it in like a decent sized container, and put it in the microwave. Do 45 seconds and see how it goes, okay?
Sorry,
Yeah.
just to mention, because other people ask, sugar and cocoa is only for that? We don't need
No, keep the sugar and cocoa out because we're gonna put it also in the cake, okay? So don't put it away. Keep flour, sugar, cocoa, and eggs. We need all of those still. It will be back in a minute, okay, with the sugar, with those, okay? So let's see. You guys can get rid of, basically that's about it, okay? That's all you can get rid of right now. The trick to the awesomeness is, so we're heating up the butter, then we take our chocolate into the hot butter. Okay, so those of you on the stove, once the butter is melted, take, and you can use the same pan. Your well, no. Keep your chocolate where it is. Pour the into the chocolate.
Slow down. Ask them if they see you properly.
We hear there's maybe a connection issue. So I'm good. Give me a thumbs up, anyone? Okay. For butter on the stove. This is pretend, right? Butter's in here. Pour this for. Can they see anything?
Ask them to do thumbs up again.
You guys, can you hear me? Are we back? I heard we had like a connection issue. Can we get a thumbs up?
Not so much.
A thumbs down if it's not working?
Yeah, we are half.
Really? How do you handle that? Huh. Okay, do you want to chat with them? Tell them to mix the butter into the chocolate. Okay, guys.
You need to repeat the chocolate and the butter.
Okay, so we put the butter in the microwave. It was hot, and now we put the chocolate into the hot butter. Okay, so we're gonna stir it up. So you guys just keep stirring it until the bumps melt. It shouldn't take that long. If you didn't make the chocolate really fine, if you give it a few minutes and it's still not melted, we could put it in the microwave for like 20 seconds. It won't ruin the
chocolate.
What?
You put the butter in the chopped chocolate?
Yes. Hot butter with the chopped chocolate together. Okay? And then just stir it, okay? Just gonna stir it, keep it going here. All right, you guys can set that down. We're gonna go back to that. It's still warm, so the chocolate might be melting as we move on to our next little activity. But so for now, I think we're cool. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to separate our eggs, okay? So I have a bowl here. So we're gonna need 2 bowls. One to put the whites in and one to put the eggs that we need in, all right? So what we're gonna do with the eggs, I'm gonna show you how to professionally break them open, all right? A lot of people have ideas about this, but this is the reason why we're gonna do it my way is because if you are one day going, hey, I'm gonna make macaroons, okay? And those have egg whites in it. And if you get even the tiniest bit of egg yolk in it, you have to start over. So once you've like cracked and separated like 8 eggs, you do not want to start over. So this is the professional way, all right? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna hold the egg this way, we're going to be, let me see, can you see here? We're going to be hitting it, turning it a little bit, and then hitting it again. And that typically makes like a straight crack, which is amazing, okay? So again, 2 bowls. The smaller bowl is what you're gonna crack the egg over, right? So we're gonna hit it, turn it, hit it. Okay, can you guys see? It's kind of awesome. Like it's totally like a straight cut. If you can see that, okay? And that's great because you have there's less chance of getting shell, okay? So now I'm just gonna open it, kind of like so that, you know, it kind of falls out. And then you take your hand and you pour that yolk in here and you let all of the white fall down, okay? So that's the best way of doing it. You're very gentle, then you pop that into the other one. The reason why we're doing that, a lot of people do the back and forth thing. Well, the problem is that you get these like really sharp edges and then poof, you've cracked the yolk and you are done and it's all over. So we don't want to do that. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we get rid of the egg white part, just move it somewhere else. And now we're gonna take 2 more eggs, okay? So we have 1 yolk. Whoa, you guys can't see that. Where is he? 1 yolk. And now we're gonna put 2 eggs, okay? The whole egg. So this time, you're just gonna crack, turn, crack, whole egg inside. Boom. Same thing, 3rd egg. Also, another reason why I don't crack on the edge is because this like pushes, it sort of like breaks the egg, and then it can put like small shells into the egg, and then it comes out when you open them. And we don't want to do that because, well, nobody wants crunchy lava cakes, okay? So I'm gonna get rid of these and wipe down my hands. Okay, so everybody, what we need now is to get some froth going in our eggs. So you're gonna grab your whisk and we're gonna give it a nice, okay? This also helps some form. And you guys know what sexually this might help with. You text Val, okay? All right. So this is actually, the thing about whisking is that you want to get air into it. So it's funny because a lot of people whisk this way, and that's actually no good because it's kind of like with your wrist, and it will hurt, right? If you whisk this way, as you can see, sort of like this, okay, yes, you use your forearm. So this is how you want to whisk. You just keep bringing it up and up so that you get some air in there, and they get all nice and like light yellowy. Okay, so that is ready. Now we're gonna take, I use a strainer. I like to use this because it mixes the flour and the sugar and the cocoa powder all together. It is not, I mean, we kind of put imperative, but not really. You guys work it out. It does help with making no clumps. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna put two tablespoons of sugar, okay? I'm gonna hold it over this, so if it falls in, it's fine, okay? So 2 tablespoons. I just sort of like move it back and forth until it's level, okay? We're gonna take now 3 tablespoons of flour. So with the flour, you dip in, and then I use a knife. I kind of hit it to get it a little smoother, and then you wipe it across. So that's 1. And then we're gonna go with 2, and whoopsie, and 3, okay? And you guys, I made a mistake. We need 3 of sugar, so my bad. Add 1 more sugar. Sometimes I get confused. Okay, so it's 3 flour, 3 sugar, 2 cocoa powder. Huh?
Several people are lost with the egg and the yolks.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, guys. So in this, I'm going to repeat some of the instructions for some people that got a little lost. Okay. So our eggs, it's 1 yolk, 2 full eggs. Okay. So you need 3 eggs, but you're going to do 1 yolk, 2 full eggs in here, mixed up. Okay. 1 yolk, 2 full eggs. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. So now we have 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, and now we're doing 2 tablespoons of cocoa. Okay, 1 and Cocoa, I do the same thing as the flour. I kind of hit it and boom, okay? So all that goes in here. I'll give you guys a minute to catch up, and I'm just gonna move these things out of the way so that we can see a little bit more what we're doing. All right, so right now we have 1 yolk, 2 eggs, all mixed, 3 sugar, 3 flour, 2 cocoa, okay? So you can take like the little tablespoon you used and sort of like mix it all in. This sifts it sifts it together, it gets out lumps. It's just like really good. And you guys, just so you know, in case you are gluten-free and you didn't know it, or people are, you can make this with with almond flour. It actually works out really, really well. You can almost like literally barely tell. I made it quite a few times, and it's like, I mean, if you ever have like gluten-free friends and you make it, they'd be like, you're kidding me. Huh? Okay. So sometimes if you have like a bigger grain sugar, it won't go through your sifter, and that's fine. You need it, so just kind of dump it in, okay? Because this is like really fine, and my sugar, it didn't make it in. So now we have everything sifted: flour, sugar, cocoa powder. We're gonna grab a pinch of salt. Guys, we're gonna go search for my salt. Is it on the table? Here it is. Okay, so we're gonna do a little pinch of salt, and then we're gonna mix, okay? So let's take a look at our chocolate. One of you take a look, see if it's like melted. You know, like if all the bumps got out and everything. If they didn't get out, well, I have like a little bump. Okay, if they didn't get out, put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds. Like honestly, like probably 10 seconds will work, okay? Oops. Start. Okay. So who out there is drinking wine as they're cooking? Is this like a happy hour for all you guys out there? Oops. Okay, you guys, if yours wasn't, was a little bumpy or had a couple like chunks in it, stir it up again. The warmth really helps it, and it kind of gets all smooth. I think mine's looking really, really good. Pretty happy with that. So we have all of our dry ingredients with our eggs. It's like just a big blob on top. Now we're gonna take our whisk, and we're gonna whisk together those eggs with the flour and the sugar and the cocoa and the little pinch of salt, okay? So you guys get that going. Okay, so we're gonna put, again, we have 1 yolk, 2 eggs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, and 2 tablespoons of cocoa, and 1 pinch of salt. So you guys get it all mixed. If you have a spatula, you can that really helps because it gets, all the stuff off the edges. So we can incorporate that together in this bowl before we add it to the other bowl. All right. Sometimes you get stuck on the side, right? So we got this, right? It's kind of like a light cocoa color. All right, beautiful. All right, guys, now we mix the two together and our dessert is done, kind of, okay? So I like to mix it, personally, I'm gonna put this in here because this has a spout, and then it makes it easier to pour, okay? So go ahead and put your egg and flour mixture into your butter and chocolate mixture. It's basically your melted chocolate mixture. So we're gonna get that going. So we're gonna this all up, and it will be okay. So you guys, I prefer dark chocolate. Like the one I use is about, I think it's like 65% dark chocolate. you know, I know people have different preferences in, you know, their like desire and their like love for chocolate. This does have the high, like the more cocoa you have in it, which is the part that makes it chocolate itself, the more aphrodisiac like potency it has. But I do understand that some people are like, oh, I like milk chocolate. I would say you could use milk chocolate. I'm not sure it would really work with 100% milk chocolate because there'd be like a lot more fat and milk in it. But I do think that you definitely could do 50-50. So if you want to like take it down a note, okay? So now we're going to fill our ramekins or our mugs or whatever you guys have at home. Okay, so you kind of have to, we're just gonna kind of guess, right? Like how much we're putting in. I like to start by filling them about halfway, just to make sure that I can make it even all the way around. So when I pour and then I pull up, because that stops that, it's like a good gravity thing. So it stops the pour, okay? So you guys can see how I'm gonna do this. And that's what you wanna do right now. Get it like up and stop. And then you can also use your spatula to like hold it real quick. So we're gonna fill these all up in our prepared ramekins or mugs. As long as it's something that you can put into the oven, it's totally cool. There we go. So you guys, lava cakes, I don't know if anybody knows, but lava cakes are a mistake, which is kind of awesome. So at one time there was, I can't remember what president, I'm not even sure if it was the United States or France, but there was a president and the chef had a fancy dinner, like at the White House or wherever it was. And he was making chocolate cakes. And the staff or whatever was like, get the dessert out now. He's like, the dessert's not ready. And they're like, we don't care. Dessert has to be served. So they served these cakes. They took them out and they weren't cooked. And so he flipped them out and they were basically like 2/3 of the way cooked. And so everybody got it. When you chop into it, it lavas out the chocolateness and it literally it blew the culinary world apart. It it made a huge difference. I remember living in New York in the early 90s and it was just really hit like mainstream then. And it was like everywhere you went was chocolate lava cake. And I swear, once you make a chocolate lava cake, you will be like, that is my go-to dessert because it's actually pretty simple. So you guys just keep dividing up your chocolate, until you sort of even things out among the 4 containers, okay? And then we're gonna be done with dessert and we're gonna move on to our rest of our cooking. But the good news is dessert will be done and we're gonna put it in the fridge and hang out. Yay. So how's everybody doing? Are you guys kind of caught up with me? I know for sure if you didn't have all this stuff out, that it might be kind of more challenging to be here, the same stage I am. But hopefully everybody's caught up. Plus, I think you guys are a team of 2, so that always helps, right? Teamwork definitely helps. Okay. Val, how are people doing? Are they hanging in there?
They don't look too panicky.
Huh?
They don't look too panicky.
No, everybody looks good? Okay. So guys, a quick little thing you can do, because sometimes they come out different levels. I like to hit it and wiggle it back and forth so that it kind of gets a little more flattened because it can get puffy in the top. Okay. So you can help your partner doing that. You guys want to taste it? Oh my God, it's so good. This is the best part of our dinners when we're like, dessert's ready. Okay, so you guys, I put mine in this Pyrex thing. You're gonna need something like this. It could be like a lasagna pan. It could be like a cake pan, something where you can put the containers inside another thing because this is, so you can see it's like a square container because we're gonna cook it bain-marie, which means with a hot water bath. So ultimately we're gonna put water, probably about up to here, into this, and then we'll put it in the oven. So if you just get this all ready and put it into your fridge, when we go on to cook the dessert, you'll be a step ahead. So grab that and grab a little spot in your fridge.